This is hard. What the fuck? Hey, I'm Charlie. You probably know me on this channel as the guy who runs it. And I never really talk like this. And I kind of want to change that. I want to talk about what's been going on in my life and life in general. So, yeah. Growing up, I always knew I was going to be a drummer. I always knew that was my dream. And I didn't know how or when, but I knew that would manifest in one way or another. By the time I got to this channel, middle school, high school, posting covers consistently, I knew I wanted to be at least a live drummer, but definitely also studio. By the time I was in my tail end of high school, I felt really proud and confident with the videos I was uploading here to the channel. COVID happened, I finished high school, and I moved out to Los Angeles. I've been here for 3 years now. It has been an incredible ride. I attended music school, and for the past 2.5, 3 years, I've been studying with incredible teachers and meeting incredible people and just honing in on my skills as a drummer. At the beginning of this year, I was offered to go on tour for about a month and a half, 2 months, and play all over the United States, which to high school me was the dream, and to even college me and where I was a month before the tour started, that had always been my dream, and that felt like it was the end-all be-all. It felt like once I began touring, then everything would change, and I would just magically become a new person. On one end, that first tour did wonders for me. I got off the tour, immediately was pretty much offered to play my first music festival. I began playing a lot with different artists, smaller shows, one-offs here and there. I also became a playback engineer and got to go on a tour and do some one-off shows just running playback, which has also been an incredible skill that I'm very lucky to know and glad to call it my profession. About 3 weeks into that first tour, my brain kind of realized, like, hey, you're still the same person. You haven't changed, and you're just doing cooler stuff now. But you're still the same person in your brain, which I was not prepared for. I was expecting to feel like a rock star and $1 million every day for the rest of my life once I started working like that. Once I kind of realized that that wasn't the case, things were a little tough for a minute. Finishing out that tour, I realized I had to continue to work on myself and learn things about myself, and that touring and playing drums wasn't all that there is to happiness. Over the last 11 months of being a professional musician now, which is pretty interesting to say the least, I've started to subconsciously treat drums and music as a job, which I thought was always my dream, to be able to work in music and play drums for a living. There is a fine difference between playing drums for a living, playing drums as a job. This had never come into mind until about 12 hours ago. I was up late watching some old Brandon Scott videos, who was one of my favorite drum YouTubers growing up. He said in a vlog, playing drums is a passion, and it's not something he ever wants to let it be turned into a job. And that struck me because for the past 5-6 months, I have been calling my work a job. And if I'm busy, I'm saying, oh, I'm working, and that's drumming. It made me realize that I don't want to work as a drummer. I want to have a passion for drums and be able to sustain myself from that. And I do believe there's a difference there. And that's something I'm not really sure yet. I don't know where that is, and there's definitely days where I go to gigs and it is close to the same feeling as punching in and out of the clock. And then there's days I go to gigs and I can't believe that I get to do what I do. There's this very strange dichotomy in my brain of here's the passion, and here's 14-year-old me making drum covers for YouTube, working my best to be known as a drummer and be a drummer that people see. The other side of it is, as an adult, I've achieved that, and yet I feel as if meeting my goals has subdued my passion. When I saw Brandon Scott talk about that, my heart sunk, and I realized, I was like, this is my passion. I moved 2,500 miles away from Boston to come play drums and to pursue my passion. And within a year of me successfully working and doing that, it's already feeling like a job. And that's something that I don't want to continue. And I don't really know how. I watched an hour straight of just Brandon talking. And even videos of him at 18, his perspective on life and working as a musician is profound, to say the least. And it really helped me put some perspective on, and I woke up today feeling different. I felt more motivated to pursue my passion and not work. I'm never going to not be grateful for what I do, and every time I'm on a stage, whether it's 10 people or 1,000, I have the same feeling of gratitude for what I'm able to do. Translating that off stage in a world of social media and instant validation is a tricky thing to do, which I haven't figured out yet, and I'm still figuring out, and will probably be figuring out for a long time. I'm working on not letting my passion turn into my 9 to 5, and I think my realization helped me flip my brain around. Even this morning, waking up, making breakfast, coming to my studio to record this, I felt motivated in a way I don't normally do. And so, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I'm gonna maybe make more videos like this. I'd like to. I'd like to get back into posting on YouTube. Thank you for letting me divulge my thoughts a little bit. Yeah, I'm grateful that I have just a tiny platform here, but still a platform to spill my brains out. Even if 10 people see this, I hope you 10 people get something out of it and maybe just shift your perspective a little bit. I'm gonna go play the drums.